Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, All-American Eatery, let me, Gary and I make an announcement to you. They are not open this weekend, and nor will they be open. Yeah, they're going to open Monday, right? Did they? Uh-huh. Yeah, they're closed this weekend for the Christmas holiday season, and they will be open again on Monday. So they'd love to see you out on the Atoka Highway and about 87th Street. If you're coming from Lubbock and you're coming around the loop, go out to 98th and swing underneath, and you'll see it down there on your right. And you'll be glad you went because the food is delicious. We ate there this week.
Decorations up. You know,
yeah,
did a great job on
Jennifer
the
did a great job
like
of decorating, and Abel's out waiting on tables the other day.
Yeah,
he's normally cooking or doing something.
Well, it's a family deal, which I think is phenomenal.
It really is.
That's the best, and you need to do that in a restaurant business. People you can trust.
They've got Senior Benefit Solutions. This is Lori Kasler. And she is the pro when it comes to Medicare. I'm telling you, she knows, and you really got to do it all the time if you're going to know what's going on. And that's what she does.
Don't for a second think that you're the pro on Medicare, because you're not. There's just different things that the professionals know that you're never going to pick up.
Then when you get it sort of figured out, they change it.
Well, that's something about the government just likes to keep things to where it's
complicated as it can be.
So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know why it's that way, but you need to get in touch with Senior Benefit Solutions. All right, there he is. There's Santa Claus himself right there.
Well, got a little Christmas cheer behind him there. That's great.
Is that the tree you're about to throw away, or what are you doing?
Yeah, this is all of Sonny's decorations. You guys know how she is with decor, so we start early, like September, October for Christmas.
Well, you speak of Sonny. I know you're going to be sad here in a month or so when the college football ends. But I think she's going to be really sad, isn't she?
Oh yeah. Sonny will be really, really sad about it. I've got mixed emotions about it all, but as we all know, as you said earlier about our middle age, probably stretching middle age a little bit, Gary, but middle-aged men, we've gone through some different phases of life for sure.
Well, people are living longer now, so we may be at middle age.
It's like our Sunday school class at church. We were the young adult teachers forever. We stayed with it till we were 60 or so. Young adults, we've had to change now because everybody's old. Hey, I want you to give when you see Barron, let him know that I have my tickets and my hotel and my plane reservations for the national championship game.
All right, I will.
And tell him
no pressure.
It's up to him if I get to go.
I'm going to put a little less pressure on him. We've got our airline and all and lined up for tickets to Atlanta, so that's a lot less pressure just to get to Atlanta. So,
well, it's definitely a fun time to be Red Raiders. Going to Miami. We're excited about that, too.
When do y'all leave to go to Miami?
We're leaving the 30th, leaving that morning.
Did you ever dream, James, that this could happen? This has been absolutely phenomenal what the Red Raider football team has done. I bet you and Sonny have had the time of your life doing this.
Yeah, we have, but it takes me a while to kind of soak it in. And the Big 12 championship was just incredible. And, then they're talking about they have to reveal where you're going, your ranking and all that stuff. And it was fun. And it took me a couple of days. I was like, oh, the Orange Bowl. And then I started thinking about all the great teams and great games that I'd seen play in the Orange Bowl. And the venues changed and whatever, but it's still the name. And I was like, Cal, that's really cool. We're going to the Orange Bowl to watch the Red Raiders. So,
what's even cooler would be the Peach Bowl.
Yes, sir.
And then even cooler than that is, I don't even know what they call the last one. National Championship Game Bowl.
The
Natty Bowl. Well, David said how wonderful it was and all that, how much y'all, but it ain't always wonderful for the parents and especially the moms because people have always had a little mean streak in them. But nowadays, those people with the mean streak have ways of sharing their meanness with the world. And I know you've taken it because you've been in sports and been around sports. How is Sonny as a mom taken? Because there's been mean, and obviously there's wonderful because we're winning. But how has she handled the other side of it?
It's definitely been a struggle at times, and I'll say this too. I mean, excuse me, when we were the number 2 quarterback, well, Barron was everybody's favorite.
Yeah, he was.
Put
Barron in.
Look what all these people are saying, James. I'm like, easy.
Easy there. You might get what you want.
I kind of had a feeling what was around the corner. And so then Barron becomes 1. And now Will or whoever was the 2, well, then it's like not good enough anymore. And I was like, hold on. Remember when we were on the other side of that deal and it was kind of, it was like, we're looking forward to this. Well, now, guess what? That's just kind of the role of being the one QB, and everybody's always got answers. And so she has gotten a little thicker skin with it. I said a little. There's still those days, but sometimes even in the stands, she'll still go at them.
You'll still go at them?
Well, good. She needs to. There's always those people, Coach. You can't ever, I don't know how they live their life. They're just like looking for the negative in everything, and I just feel sorry for them because evidently they have a horrible life.
Yes, and that does now. Now you're kind of starting to get the coach out of me. I'm getting the thing. that is the one. Like, I remember when I was in Eastland, of all places, Eastland, my hometown. And
I was born here.
Of all places, it was like the worst to coach in as far as, being boarded. And so one day, I didn't have any social media. So we're doing the little, radio show, day of the game at the bank. And the guy doing the interview, he's kind of a nervous guy. I said, but hold on, before we get started, I said, I just want to tell all the fans and the Mavs supporters, here's the deal. I don't have social media, but they're telling me what y'all are saying on social media. So here's my phone number. And so I gave them my phone number and I said, hey, just call me. And I'll be happy to meet with you in person and we can discuss this in person. I didn't get one phone call after I got my number. Shocker.
Yeah, they're real tough when they're doing social media.
Well, does Sonny have a list going of folks when the season's over? Sort of a hit list type thing?
Yeah. Yeah. You go knocking on doors.
Well, it's it's almost you can be winning and you got those kind of people. Yeah. You didn't win by enough. We should have gotten touchdowns instead of field goals. All that stuff.
Sure, and the backup quarterback stat's not happy with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever it was, they had it. But Sonny's really she's handled it. Like I said, she's gotten better with it. And it's like anything else. The more you kind of go through that stuff, the more you have to deal with it. And she's used it in a lot of ways with Barron to reach out and help some people that are struggling with whatever and gotten Barron involved with that. And so, that's at the end of the day, it's about giving and helping others. And we kind of use that as a platform too for different things.
Well, I want to tell you what I tell anybody that'll listen to me is Barron has been a wonderful ambassador for Tech. He had a lot of opportunities. He could have gone anywhere in the country before he came here. And since he's been here, once they changed these rules that you want to skip ship, just go ahead, just hook them. And he's had opportunities to go, and he's a Red Raider. And so if there's ever a quarterback that you just need to give the second chance to, it's Barron Morton, because he's just a Red Raider to the bone. And I'm just so happy that he's getting to experience this season as his last season.
Yes. Yes, he is, and you're right. He loves Lubbock and loves Texas Tech, and it was pretty cool after the Kansas State game. Dr. Scubanek came up to me, and he was kind of intentional in seeking me out, and he was like, "My wife wants me to tell you this," and basically just exactly what you were saying. I was like, "That's pretty cool praise coming from he and his wife."
Well, that's why he was seeking you out, because she told him to do something. By golly, he's going to do it.
That's right. That's right.
You talk about a Red Raider athletics fan. It's unbelievable. He and Patty are the greatest sports fans for Texas Tech ever. But Barron has been. Jan ran into him in an airport somewhere, and she talked to him, and they got their picture made. And then some other people realized who he was. He was getting pictures made with all these people, just so kind and gracious. Just y'all raised a good young man. Y'all really did, and we'll give Sonny a lot of that credit. But he is an outstanding young man, and he ought to be. Well, I noticed the last game he looked pretty well out there running around, and he ought to be completely well by now if he hadn't gotten too old to play by now. It's taken forever to get to these games.
It has been, but he is definitely moving a lot better, and he feels a lot better.
Good.
He's told me his leg really feels good now, and that's what you kind of whatever I've ever seen play. I just think that's how he is, and when I saw him moving around a little bit better at the BYU game in the Big 12, I was like, oh, yeah, that is a good sign. I forgot that he had that little bit of mobility that he had.
Boy, he made one play that very mobile. I said, hey, I believe the boy's back when he made that spin around move and stayed on his feet. And
yeah,
so that was a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
All right, his dad's a coach, and you're his dad, and you know football, so I know you've watched Oregon play, and you've probably analyzed it a little more than the typical dad. How good are they?
I think that's the real question is where they are, and I think really what it boils down to me, Gary, is that I think what our offensive line can do against their defensive line, and then what their offensive line can do against ours, and I think it all is that's to me is the tipping point in the game, is how we hold up with our offensive line, and then how their offensive line, what if anything they can do, because we all know our defensive line and our linebackers, really our defense has made us go, and I think if we keep that dominance, I think that's the thing that's really amazed me about this season is when you have a defense like we have, it just keeps everyone calmer on the sideline. I know as an offensive-minded person, if you're feeling like every time you touch the ball you got to go score, it creates more pressure each time you go out, and you can't relax and you start forcing sometimes. And I think that's what our defense has enabled us to do. Is at times when we need to find a groove offensively, we've been able to buy a little bit more time rather than getting behind in the game. And so I think that's a big key for us.
Well, James Madison certainly moved the ball on them, and that's encouraging to me to see that. And you're right, though. I think our offensive line is really a key in this ball game. They've got to hold up. They've got to get the blocks. We got to be able to run the ball. And
yes,
we've done a really good job of that because that'll take the pressure off of Barron. And, Coach, we have some really great receivers, and and Barron's arm is outstanding. He has some of those passes he's completed, I was just amazed at. He put them right on the money. So he is really throwing the ball well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a complete group. I think it's balanced. The running backs, I think, have done a great job this year. First time I saw Cam Dickey was at a spring practice, and he was really still a senior. First time I was like, wow, I asked somebody that was standing next to me who that was, and I was like, I think he's going to be a great player. And he's turned out to it. Which Jacoby has too.
He's been great. Well, it's I know that you watch with anticipation when you watch Barron play because you want him to do so great, and you don't want him to get hurt, and he's had to experience that. But I just love the way he's bounced back, Coach. He really
Yes,
shown a lot of strength and fortitude.
Yes, sir. He's actually, I always gave him a hard time. I thought he wasn't a tough one, and he's kind of shown me through the time.
He's proved you wrong.
Yeah, he did.
All your life you told him you're a sissy. Suck it up.
For sure.
No, it's been so fun. We're so happy for y'all that y'all get to experience this.
A lot of great memories. I don't get to drink coffee at home a lot, but
Got your Monterey mug.
this is my Monterey mug that they made me way back then, and it's still the cup that I drink out of every time. That's what my old eyes used to look like from watching videos. So put that there too.
Where did you get that mug?
Coach Morris's wife, who's assistant baseball and football, and coached at Atkins. His wife is Sonny's niece, and she made that for me one year for a Christmas present.
That's nice.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's been around for a while now.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. All right. If we win Thursday, and we certainly plan on it, I think we almost have to have you on next week to just keep the good mojo going.
Oh, yeah. All about it.
All right, and real quickly, for those that don't know, this fellow we're talking to right now, 17 years ago, was the very first guest we had on our very first show, and he's very important to to our show and to us. Coach, we got about 15 seconds. Say something smart.
Something smart. I've never been known something smart, but it's pretty cool. I've told people this in interviews or whatever about knowing how passionate the Red Raider fan base is and seeing all this to come to fruition. I think it's very deserving, and it's encouraging for to be able to stay the course and stay whatever jokes we've been behind and all those kind of things. It's just been really neat to
enjoy Miami, Coach.
Let's go get them. Guns up, wreck them. See you, Coach. Thanks for being on today.
Coach James Morton.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All right, David, quarter four.
Yeah.
Those people on TV, look at this nice looking Big 12 championship shirt.
Yep, I got one.
And they're going to have, every level we go, they're going to have new shirts like this for our championships. And if we win the Natty, man, just get ready.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
But everybody in our house has one of these shirts now.
We gave all the kids and everybody one the Big 12 championship shirts, and those were really great. They had a whole bunch of them up front, and
this is good looking.
Anyway, they gave away the shoes again this year to needy kids, and Brad just said it was just phenomenal. Y'all did a great job of supporting that, and they got to help a lot of kids out. That's the kind of community support we're looking for. From quarter four, they do it. All right, J&W Services, Linco Distributors in Midland, Texas. They are one of the reasons we're on down there. Red Beck, Scott Blakely, we appreciate them so much. And if they're in the oil and gas business, they need to be on your team because they can help you. All right,
absolutely.
We got Matt Dowdy on the show with us. Matt, how you doing? Are you there?
You got me?
Yeah, now I got
there
you.
You are.
Did you have your phone upside down?
Definitely.
I have to check. Well, how you doing? You in Idlewild or where are you?
I'm actually in the office right now this morning. We got practice later this afternoon, and then we got a couple press conferences here in about an hour 15.
Yeah, you told me that. Who does those press conferences? Where are you?
Today it's a friend of the program, Kenny Perry, plus Shill Wood, and then some of our defensive players. And then tomorrow it's Coach Leftwich, and then Baron Morton, and a few other of our.
Where do you do those?
Players. We have just off the field club in the South End Zone building, we have a dedicated press conference room in there. So it's very convenient for our players and coaches. They just come down a couple of floors, and we have the room all set up for them. We have media that just can enter through the South End Zone doors, and we're able to keep those rolling in a pretty timely fashion.
Good.
Well, I mean, are y'all just like inundated with people wanting to talk to y'all? I mean, not necessarily you, but the coaches and the And the players, is it just overwhelming?
Definitely not me, but we've had more demand over the last month than we probably have had in a long time here at Texas Tech. And, a lot of people have asked me that question, and what I tell them, my response typically has been, hey, that's a great problem to have, because when you're not in this type of demand, it means you're probably not winning football games. And so, we've had ESPN here 2 or 3 times in the last week for different projects they're working on going into the Orange Bowl. We've had Coach McGuire on Sports Center, different shows across the country, and a few more of our players. So demand is high, which again, it goes back to winning, and it's a good problem to have. Great problem to have.
You mentioned ESPN. Like, who shows up at this deal today? Like, if Gary and I came, because we're big media guys, we could show up.
We're going to be done by the time y'all get off the air, so that'd
be perfect.
They planned it around that.
That was conveniently scheduled that way. But I mean, you'll have a lot of our local media. Several guys y'all probably have on the shows several times throughout the year, like Don Williams, David Collier, and then we also have a Zoom capabilities to where national media and media from the Miami area and wherever else we're playing can log in and ask questions and talk with our players and staff.
Great.
All right, I'm just envisioning David and I walking up, and we couldn't get in, could we?
Yeah, we could.
Oh, how? We don't have
if
any
Coach
kind of
McGuire
fancy.
saw us, he'd let us in.
Kind of fancy.
He's a nice guy, and a map might not let us in, but Coach McGuire would.
I'd let y'all in. We'd make sure you got the mic for one of the first questions too. So
no, that's too much pressure.
Yeah. Well, it's. I'll ask Coach first thing. Tell me about this national championship game, Coach. When are we going to go down for that?
When are we going down?
When are we going for this game?
We are leaving Monday morning for Miami, and then we're coming back, immediately after the game. So it's a 3-day trip to Miami, and hopefully plan is to come back with the W, and then, head to Atlanta after that.
Do you have to set up practice schedules down there? Are you the guy that does that?
No, that's Antonio Huffman more so than me. I find out when practice is scheduled, and I make anything to do with the media schedule around that.
So where do y'all practice when you go to Miami? I know y'all going to get on the field, and you'll get to go to the Orange Bowl, won't you, and work out?
We actually are not going to go to the Orange Bowl. A lot of that reasoning is just because it follows what we normally do there in the season. We don't normally go to the stadium we're playing in. We're actually going to practice. We do a light walkthrough practice 2 days before the game, so the 30th, and then we do a faster paced practice. Coach McGuire calls it Fast Friday. It'll be the day before the game, and we're going to do both of those at Florida Atlantic's football stadium, which is we know several people there, so it works out well.
Yeah,
is it the same surface as the Orange Bowl? That would be
very
important
similar
to me.
grass surface, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this is the second time we would have played on grass this year.
Wonder how many times Oregon plays on grass.
Not much. One other time this year, I think.
I know they sell a lot of grass up there, but
yeah, not that kind of grass.
Yeah.
I think they played one time on grass this year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So
it's
we'll
different.
see.
It's different. Just hope it doesn't rain, because it can rain in Miami.
Yeah, the whole state of Florida. In fact, it can be raining at one point and then completely clear skies 15 minutes later. That's just kind of how the weather there is. I've looked about every day at what the weather looks like a week out, and it looks like be good weather for a 12 p.m. noon Eastern kick. So hopefully see a lot of Red Raiders down there.
Well, you will see a lot of Red Raiders.
Hey, I don't want to put pressure on anybody, Matt, but one of my Christmas presents, which is a big one, is to go to the national championship game in Miami, and I've got airfare, hotel, the whole deal. It's all set up, and the whole deal is already set up, and now I just got to have the Red Raiders get there.
Well, I hope we're there. I heard you tell that to Coach Morton a little bit ago, and that'd be quite the story. And y'all said something about Barron a little bit ago that kind of made me think for a minute, and just how impressive has that kid been this year. And like when we're thinking about this season in 10 to 15 years, I hope the memory of Barron Morton is that he's one of the winningest quarterbacks, and he's remembered that way because we don't win the amount of games we've won during his time here without Barron. Yeah, so exactly. It was pretty cool to hear y'all talking to Coach Morton a little bit ago.
Yep.
And you don't necessarily have to share that David's got those tickets lined up and all that, because that's a lot of pressure to put on the team.
Win it for Dave. Yeah. David and Tanner, listen, we got to have it. I'm sure that'll be the main theme.
Well, you're looking for a theme.
No, I'd be so honored to be able to be there if that's and if we're there, and I think we can be. I believe we can be.
Yeah.
And
I believe this team is talented enough. We got the right staff. Now the thing about this format is everybody's good at this point. You're in the final 8 teams in the country. Everybody's good. Oregon has a great program, great coaching staff, and so they're going to be ready to play. And so it's going to be a competitive game. But that's what being in the playoffs is about. And we have as good of an opportunity as anybody else. And Coach has been telling this team for months, why not us? Why not the Red Raiders? And so it should be a fun game come New Year's Day.
Wasn't it last year, the first game of the year, we played Oregon and should have beat them?
Yeah.
Was that last year?
That was 2023. It was the second game of the year. And, we were up. And
was it Oregon?
Gave it away in the fourth.
It was Oregon.
Okay, you're wrong on what year it was. You're wrong on what game it was. But at least I got the team right.
It was Oregon.
So we have played Oregon, and we have proven that we can beat Oregon. And we didn't, but we proved that we can, because we really should have. So, and some of those guys are still on the team. Barron, for example.
Yep. Well, we're good enough. There's no question about it. That's what that guy on that Saturday Night Live. Dang it, I'm good enough.
And we're good enough.
Yeah, we are. And I've been so impressed, and I can't even describe to you. Of course, you know it, Matt. It's the feeling in Red Raider Nation right now is just through the roof. You got our football team, what they're doing. Our basketball team just beat Duke, the number 3 team in the country that hadn't lost a game, and our Lady Raiders are undefeated.
Did they beat Duke? I turned that thing off with about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, they won. I know it.
No, actually, I did not turn it off, but I know a lot of people that did turn it off.
Man, it's been fun.
It's been a great past few weeks between winning a Big 12 title, beating Duke, and men's basketball heading into conference play, and then the Lady Raiders knocking off Baylor and Waco. Coach Garlick and her staff have really done a good job of putting that team together, and they're top 25, and don't look now, but they could get on a very good run and have a big game New Year's Eve at the USA. And so definitely, if you're not going to Miami, the men play on the 28th and the women play on New Year's Eve. Definitely get your tickets and go see them, because both of those programs are top notch, top 25. They'll be fun to watch.
Yep, it's UCF coming in here at 6 p.m. and that's Big 12's underway on the women's side, and the men start on Saturday, January 3rd with Oklahoma State here. And what I'm amazed with, Matt, is how good the Big 12 is, top to bottom. I'm just looking at these conference records. It's crazy how good everybody is. We've still got 2 undefeated teams in Arizona and Iowa State. BYU, Houston, and Oklahoma State, and UCF only lost 1. We got really good teams.
I think we're considered the best in the nation again, aren't we? Because I think SEC might have snuck that away from us last year, but I think we're considered the best, aren't we?
Best.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the Big 12 in basketball. It's the premier league in college hoops, and that brings a lot of fun and exciting games to Lubbock come starting January 3rd with Oklahoma State, who by record is very much improved this year, and a quality opponent will face open Big 12 play.
Yep. Hey, let me ask you something, because I know this has been a concern for Red Raider faithful, and that's this time off that we've had. And I know that's probably been a focus for Coach McGuire and his coaches. how do we maintain this energy that we've got and keep it going? Because, last year, all 4 teams that got a bye lost.
Yeah.
And you're just like.
And only one of them had a good game. The other 3 got beat.
Yeah. So it's a concern.
Well, and here's one thing I've kind of said about the last year. Last year's hard to look at just because the seeding was completely different last year. You had Arizona State and Boise State, who would not have been a top 4 in the actual rankings, getting the first round bye. And then if I could be wrong here, but I believe Georgia's quarterback, I believe it's who it is now, but their starter was hurt, and their starter for the duration of the season last year was hurt for that bowl game. So that's 3 out of the 4 games right there. But I know that's something our staff has looked at quite a bit. And, the first week after Big 12, a lot of what they did was strength and conditioning, running, trying to get their legs back, trying to get a lot of these guys back to as close to full health, because college football is a tough sport. You got to be very tough to play at this level, and guys just naturally, coach tells them every year, the first day of camp, this is the healthiest you're going to be all season, because that's just the way the game is. And so before Christmas, we had several padded practices to try to keep them in a rhythm, try to keep them to where that break's not as big of a factor. And then the team, they were off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but they practiced last night, and was a pretty fast-paced practice to kind of make sure conditioning was there, and then they'll put on the pads today and tomorrow before we go to Miami.
Or at the time, we've had like almost a month. A lot of people, you're talking about getting healthy. Skylar Gill Howard, any chance of him being healthy?
I think what Coach said last week was it was probably not going to be for the Orange Bowl, but then we'd see after that. So he's probably a little bit off, but I believe that was kind of the timeline Coach gave about a week ago.
Okay.
I'd like to see him play, certainly to help us, but I'd like to see him play for him. I've been so impressed with him, Matt. Now, you know him well, but he seems really like a great young man.
Oh, Skylar is. He's everything you see on TV and more. He is very much a leader on his team. The Red Raiders are undefeated when he's at least on the sidelines. He didn't make the trip to Arizona State because he had just had surgery that week. And so he brings a little bit of energy. He brings a little bit of he knows the right things to say. He usually talks on Friday nights to the team ahead of he did before the Big 12 title game. And so, that leadership from him, especially being a new guy in a new place, just combining him with natural leaders we've had on this team with Barron, Jacob Rodriguez, Bryce Ramirez has been that I would say that's quite a bit of what has made this team so special, is that we brought in a bunch of guys, but we didn't miss. We hit good leaders on a lot of these guys that we brought in.
And that's a key.
Well, we know you're busy and you got this deal, so we move this up. Do you want to stay with us, or do you need to go work?
I'll stay with you for one more.
Hey. All right, that's good. We need you.
I'd have lost a bet on that one, so I'm glad you're doing it.
Well, it's because he's so prepared. He's already got everything ready.
That's right. Now, I was going to ask you, when we come out of the break, on Skylar, I'm sure we've looked. NCAA's gotten a lot better about giving guys another year. In fact, if you say pretty please, most people get another year. And when we come back, I want you to tell us if he can get a hardship year, or that's out of the question. But we'll be right back with Matt Dowdy.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, I want to tell everybody about Mighty Wash. There's locations all over Lubbock. They're all over Midland, Odessa, the Permian Basin, eastern New Mexico. This is Lubbock owned and operated right here out of the hub city. And they would love to take care of you. They do a great job. Get you in there and out of there. Do a fantastic job. And there's even porch where you can pull around there and they'll hand dry it for a long time. You get it all looking really good if that's what you need them to do. But it's not Mission. It's Mighty Wash, and that's who you need to go see. There's one near you in Lubbock, Texas, and down in the Permian Basin. Mission Service Company. This is Tanner, and he's going with me to the national championship game, assuming our Red Raiders get there. But he has the landscape business. He also, the main thing we'll talk about here, you folks in the oil and gas business, he has a spraying service that kills all the weeds and everything. So let's give him a call, 806-632-6325, 806-632-6325, to ask for the Thetford and Ashby discount. It's actually real. All right, Matt Dowdy's here with us. Matt, thank you for hanging on with us. And Antonio Huffman, you said he sets up all the schedule and everything. So he was the operations director of the year in the Big 12. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, Huff, obviously a former player here, does a great job between himself, Quentin Jordan, Presley Quisenberry. They have a full team that just handles strictly operations, the day-to-day of the team's practice schedules, but also like for a trip like going to Miami, the travel is a huge element of anything, of getting really 150, 200 people to one destination. And so they handle all that and do a fantastic job. So I was, really thrilled to see Huff be recognized in that way, because it's very much well-deserved.
Hey, real quickly before we leave the recognition deal, since he got that award, we've got several coaches and all that have been given awards. Can you whip them out off the top of your head?
Yeah, Kenny Perry was Football Scoop. Football Scoop also honored Antonio Huffman, but he was the Football Scoop Special Teams Coordinator of the Year. That's a national award, so he's the best special teams coordinator in the country, according to that publication. And then Sheil Wood and C.J. Ayu shared best linebacker coach honors, and then Darnell Fitch is our D-line coach, and he was also recognized as the top position coach for the D-line in the country. And the cool thing about those awards is they are voted on by past winners of those awards, and so they're really being recognized by their peers, which really makes them stand out even more, because they were already highly respected in their field before this season, but the work they've done with their position groups is just being honored and recognized at a higher level.
Okay, that's the staff. Now then, I know you've had the opportunity to go with Jacob Rodriguez and sort of tour the country picking up hardware for him. What all awards did that boy win? And by the way, people that are on TV, this is my Jacob Rodriguez mustache I'm growing. I'm going to have to darken it up a little, but anyway, all right.
There's not many awards Jacob Rodriguez hasn't won at this point. He's a unanimous first-team All-American, which means there's 5 All-America teams that the NCAA recognizes. He was a first-team honoree on every one of those teams, him and David Bailey both. So they're both unanimous All-Americans, which I believe they're the 6th and 7th players in our history to win unanimous All-American accolades. But then, he won the Butkus Award, nation's top linebacker. He won the Lombardi Award. I was at the Lombardi Award with him in Houston. It was a really cool event. David Bailey was also a finalist and was there too. Great event. It was really cool to see. The Red Raiders had 2 of the 4 finalists, and so that was really cool to see. He's the winner of the Bednarik Award, which is nation's top defensive player, and then the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, which is also nation's top defensive player. And then he's still a finalist for Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year. I believe that's the last award that's out there pending for him, but what a year. He's probably the most decorated player in our history. We've not had a 3-4-time award winner similar to Jacob in our history. And so Coach has been making quite a bit of jokes. If you walk through the Womble Football Center, one of the first hallways you go through is a trophy room, and that we're going to have our own Jacob Rodriguez section before long.
All right, now y'all, obviously the school gets to keep those. Does he get to keep any of the hardware, or does that stay at the school?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he already has his Butkus Award, and I believe he might have a Lombardi Award already. But there's a couple. Those awards, the way that happens is it's a quick turnaround. He literally played in the Big 12 title game, and then the next morning he was flying to California for the Lott Trophy, which he was a finalist for. And so all that happened really quickly. We're still waiting on a few trophies to arrive in Lubbock that we'll have on display in the Womble Football Center. But he will definitely get to have a version of each trophy to himself to keep forever.
It's just been amazing. And David Bailey, to be unanimous All-Americans, that for those two guys, that just tells you everything.
And to be a unanimous All-American and really sort of get overlooked because of what Jacob Rodriguez has done, David Bailey at another school would be the man. And now he's sitting there going, well, who's that other guy that was unanimous All-American? Oh, David Bailey. Yeah.
Well, and that's been another one of those good problems to have where we have so many defensive players. We had 4 defensive players that earned some sort of NCAA All-America status between not only Jacob, but David Bailey as unanimous first-team selections, but also A.J. Holmes, one of our defensive tackles, was a second-team All-American. So was Lee Hunter, another defensive tackle. And so, and I always go to bat for this person, but I think Romello Height, our other edge rusher, was just as deserving as All-America status for what he creates for this defense. He's kind of the guy that kind of sometimes blows up the play, and someone else there might get the tackle, but he's very disruptive. And so it's one of those you've had a lot of great problems to have because your defense has been so dominant.
Well, first team all Big 12, David Bailey, Romello Height, Lee Hunter, Jacob Rodriguez, Bryce Pollock. That's a pretty good group.
It's Pollock, isn't it?
Pollock, yes.
Yeah.
That's when you have 3 out of the 4 spots on the defensive line and then 5 on defense alone on the first team. You have a pretty good defense because those are voted on by the coaches, but there's only a certain amount of spots, and so the fact that you had so many guys on the first team is very it stands out.
Real quickly, back to Pollock. You're in charge of different things out there. Did y'all not suggest he do sort of like Dorset went to a Dorset? See, Pollock, I think I would have said, hey, let's go with Pollock.
Yeah. Well, you sound like a Polish joke. So.
Yeah, anyway. All right, we can move on from there. But when we got Skylar Gill Howard hurt on our defense, I thought, oh, no, here we go. And then we have such depth that we just hardly didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, you have a lot of depth, especially on that defensive line. And we kind of thought that going into the season, and you don't want ever to have an injury happen, but you in the back of your mind know something's eventually going to happen as well. It happens to every team around the country. The hard part was he was playing at such a high level too. He was one of the highest graded defensive tackles in the country at the time. Between him, A.J. Holmes, and Lee Hunter, you had 3 defensive tackles right there in the middle of your defense that were as good as anybody else had in the country. And so when he went down, it was obviously great. We had a lot of depth and had A.J. Holmes there as well. But Skylar is an important part of this team and was playing outstanding.
Well, that's one of the things, Matt, that you just said is our depth. We just haven't had this luxury in the past, and it's so good to have. And we're just recruiting again. We're up at the top in these recruits coming in again. The news about Texas Tech football in Lubbock, Texas, is out there, and people are responding to it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it helps when you have large scale productions like a College Game Day come to Lubbock, and they're coming to Lubbock because you're winning, but it's also the fact that when they come to Lubbock, our people treat them so well, and the fact that when they go to restaurants or hotels, and the hospitality here is just unmatched, whereas and these people that run Fox Big Noon Kickoff, ESPN's College Game Day, like they do this every week. They're professionals. They're not going to they know who's good and they know who's bad as far as hosting these type of events. And I think the fact that our community just embraces Texas Tech, just really stands out and makes it easier on us to get more publicity, but also attract the top rated players across the country.
Well, you can't put a dollar figure on what that meant to us, but like you said, when they came in, they just sort of fell in love with Lubbock and the people, and they spread the gospel that we've known for years, but they spread it. It was unbelievable.
Weeks. They just kept talking about it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the amount of publicity we got off of that, and positive publicity.
Yeah, and I think you'll see that continue through as far as the Red Raiders go this year. I can already, College Game Day will feature us in some manner going into the Orange Bowl because we're kind of leading in. Our game's the lead in. Our College Game Day is the lead in into the Orange Bowl, and so you'll see the Red Raiders featured throughout that show as they'll have the Cotton Bowl the night before. They'll recap that, but they'll also have 3 more CFP games that day to discuss.
Yeah. Well, I know y'all talked about Dante Moore. To me, he's the key, and he's really good. And our defense is going to be called on to to get pressure on him and then to stop him from getting out of there and running. So I know that's probably been a focus for the Red Raiders to stop Dante Moore.
Yeah, and that's he's highly graded for a reason. He's a very good quarterback, and Oregon's always had really good quarterbacks. Yeah. They've kind of made that a kind of staple of who they are, and so it's a good challenge. I think that's what Coach. There's a lot of similarities between the two programs right now. Both head coaches very much our culture have done a great job with cultures of their respective programs, and then Oregon's won a lot for a long period of time now, and I thought there was an interesting question last week to Coach McGuire in a press conference about Oregon's rise as one of the nation's top programs, and I think Coach's answer was something to the sorts of, well, that's what we're hoping to make Texas Tech, to where this is not a one-year thing. This is an annual thing to where we're competing for Big 12 titles and in the CFP.
Well, I think we're well on our way. I really do. And, you just look at these recruits that we're bringing in here, Matt. We're getting the top people. We're getting the people we want. And usually if it's up in a battle, Texas Tech ends up with them. And here's one guy, he said the other day, one of the coaches that came, he goes, I thought I was moving to Afghanistan or somewhere when we took the job and Joey brought us out here. He goes, man, Lubbock is awesome. And he said the football facilities are like a 5-star resort. I mean, that's kind of how he described it. He goes, I've never seen anything like it. Our football facilities are, really all of our facilities are second to none. We are so blessed.
Yeah, and I go back to a story I always remember of James Blanchard. Day 2, we had Coach McGuire's press conference. First day he was in Lubbock, hired. The next day we walked James Blanchard around what our current facilities were like. And I just remember him saying, hey, this place is a gold mine. Like this place, like you guys don't realize how much we can recruit to Lubbock, and we can recruit to Texas Tech, and that we're going to change that area of this football program. And you look 4 years later and didn't even need to wait that long. We've been having great recruiting classes, but it's come to fruition, especially, and it's only helped by the fact that we've only upgraded our facilities, and we got tremendous fan support. And so throwing a Big 12 title and a CFP run, it's why wouldn't you want to come to Texas Tech?
All right, in 50 words or less, can you explain the new NIL rules? Because the old one we called it the Wild West, and apparently that's changed. Or should we get somebody else on to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't think 50 words is going to – I don't know if
there's nobody.
I can't find anybody that understands it.
Yeah. Well, I understand it. It's more hard to explain. It's essentially everything is revenue share now, in the sense that the money we generate as an athletic department, there is a portion of that we share with our athletes across all sports. And so when people talk, NIL is really, name, image, likeness is really Baron Morton going outside of Texas Tech Athletics and doing a corporate sponsor or a deal with Raising Cane's or a different sponsor group like that. That's really the true meaning of what NIL should be. And what the format is more so now is that we share revenue at the highest level with our athletes across all sports.
Well,
as much as allowed.
We're about out of time, but
hopefully I got you there. And
that was good. That was good. I do want to tell you though, Matt, just so you put it on your plate. We need to have Huffman on our show in the studio. We need to have Blanchard on our show in the studio. You can get that done, can't you?
You know, when we get done with this run and we're not probably practicing or
y'all will leave town.
Saturday,
no, we won't see anybody.
We'll make sure to get that on our radar.
We need Huff and we need Blanchard. Blanchard's done an amazing job. People have no idea how valuable he is.
All right, we got about 20 seconds left, and we've bragged on just about everybody in the Tech football program today except you, and we appreciate the job you do. I'm sure there's an award out there that you've either won or should win, or maybe they need to have an award for you to win. But anyway, we're proud of the job you do. We appreciate what you do for us.
Yep.
And look forward to the next few weeks with the Red Raiders.
Let's go get it.
Hopefully see you a couple times in Miami.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, buddy. I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. Great job.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.